time to kick off another great week of recipes in our kitchen. Our good friend David, Chef David from Buster Brown Bean Company, and my personal bartender is in the kitchen this morning. What do you got for us?
We're seeking you help now, Joe, officially. As you just introduced, Chef David is here, and Buster Brown Bean Company. Have trouble. In Fredonia.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the restaurant.
We have a cafe and bistro down there. That location is actually fairly new for us. We used to have 4 other locations.
Wow.
We're concentrating on this one now. We source everything as local as possible whenever possible. We consider ourselves to be a globally conscious company. We try to take into account how we affect the earth, the people, the animals, all the living things that inhabit it.
We're all related, right?
Yep.
Okay, and today you are making a harvest burger?
A harvest burger.
What is a harvest burger?
Well, I call it a harvest burger. We're caramelizing some onions. We're gonna, you know, warm up some apples in there. We're gonna top it with some blue cheese. It's very good. You know, it's flavored with some, or seasoned with some thyme. Me too. And the beef it's all local grain-fed beef. As everybody knows, when I am on here, I try to source things from local farmers, local producers, whenever possible. So today, what I did is I actually sourced some local grain-fed beef from Someday Baby Farms in Forestville, New York. I'm sure you've heard me mention them before. We got our eggs from the last episode that I did.
It's always great, it's best to get them so fresh from a local farm if you can. Tell somebody who hasn't had a grain-fed beef burger, what's the difference?
Well, you're going to notice the taste is actually very different in grain-fed meat.
Enhanced?
It's cleaner, it's fresher. You know, I use local pork, I use local beef, I use local eggs.
Lamb, you were telling me about.
Local lamb, I was just telling you about the lamb from Lauderdale Acres Farm down in Chautauqua County as well. But it's just fresher, it's cleaner, it's lacking the hormone. And when you've never had that before, sometimes for people it's a bit of a shock. The other owner, Greg, the first time he had grain-fed meat, to him it tasted a little different for him, and it took a little getting used to. And then some people can just go with it.
Today I'm going to hopefully go like that, right with it. I'm going to run with it. When we come back, we're going to start putting things together.
Yes,
excellent.
Absolutely.
Back to you, Joe.
All right, company is in our kitchen this morning, and that means Chef David's here, and Victoria's dropping things. What's up, guys?
Ta-da! I've been given the difficult task of peeling the apple. That's all he's let me do, Joe.
That's not true.
There it is. There it is. Chef David is making a harvest burger from grain-fed beef.
Grain-fed beef. Cow, yep.
And right now we're sauteing onions in olive oil and a little bit of butter, you were saying.
Butter,
most chefs cook with 2 means of fat?
Usually a lot of chefs do in restaurants. We cook with a minimum of 2 fats whenever.
It does taste different with butter.
It does taste different with butter. A lot of things taste different with butter. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to finish making these wedge fries. We're going to toss them with some olive oil, some salt and pepper. We got those in the oven. We're going to finish peeling this, slice that up, so when our onions are caramelized, we can add the apple. If you'd add it too early, it's just going to kind of
mush it up.
Mush it up. We don't want to do that. A trick for caramelizing your onions a little bit, something that I learned, get them going, get them nice and warm, and then if you find that it's not really caramelizing for you, add a little bit of water, cover them up, go back a few minutes later, and more than likely you're going to see quite a bit of progress.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that little tip. And then the other thing we need to speak about is that local grain-fed beef.
Yes.
Now, Someday Baby Farms uses an Irish Dexter cow, and the reason why they do that is when you get a grain-fed cow, the fat content tends to be a little lesser than that of a hormone-fed cow that was raised on this big.
And fat is key to the taste of a burger.
So when I get my beef from them, I actually get a special blend, an 85-15 blend. But the Irish Dexter cow is actually bred purposely for its fat content and marbling that you look for in a good steak.
We have 20 seconds left, not even. So is there anything else you need to tell us about? Do we need to cut them any skinnier? Does it take longer for these fries to cook
Not
up?
necessarily. You do want to make them uniform, and you want to make sure that they're basically, you don't want to have big piles of them on the pan. You want to have a nice, even coat, flat pan. Don't put them in piles. They won't cook as evenly, and then you'll get some that are done and some that are not.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to take the next 5 minutes, and I'm going to slice up this apple like nobody's business. Joe, back to you.
All right. What's up, guys?
Oh, well, I'm much closer, and I'm doing everything. I told Chef David that I couldn't even concentrate with what he was telling me because all I wanted to do is grab this burger and start eating it. Chef David from the Buster Brown Bean Company.
You're getting good at
from
that.
Fredonia, and you're making a harvest burger for us. You have the onion sauteing with the slices of apple.
Yes, we have caramelized onions, apple. We have our local beef here. You're going to notice the brilliance in color, as always, because it's local and it's grain-fed and it's not full of hormones, which is very, very important. The things that they can do to you.
I wish sometimes I weren't so full of hormones. Let's move on.
Let's move on. So we seasoned our meat. We did some fresh thyme, some salt and pepper in there. We mixed it through. We made our patty. We're right over here now, right?
Right.
All right, so we're gonna get our burger, because I know you've been waiting.
And you put blue cheese on it.
There's a smoked blue cheese, actually, so it's a nice pungent Danish blue with some smoky flavor to it. Kind of milds out that bite that blue cheese can get that kind of turns people off sometimes. So we got that. We're missing some apple. I know you want that, because that's what makes it kind of a harvest burger, you know?
My goodness.
There we
I
go.
am just thrilled. Now, this really, all in all, doesn't take that long to cook.
No, it doesn't at all.
And do you like frying the burgers better than even barbecuing them?
At the restaurant, we tend to charbroil them or re-griddle them
Okay.
for the flavor. It really depends on what
I
you want to
heard
do
that
and how quickly.
Griddling or frying brings out a great flavor to it.
It does, yeah. And then lastly, what we have here are our sweet potato wedge fries for you as well.
Look
I
at
don't want to forget those, right?
It's like Christmas.
Christmas in it's almost October, but not quite.
I know.
All right, there
Look
you go.
at that. All right.
Now, you can take a bite of that, and
Great.
what we'll do is talk about some pairings here. As we all know, I always like to have a little something at the end of the day because we work so hard, right?
Yes.
So here what we did is we have some apple pie cider a la mode, I call this, and it's basically...
You can smell it. It smells like apple pie.
Yeah, it smells. It's literally like making dessert, except you don't have to go through the process of making the crust and the apples and all of that.
Okay, I'm going
And,
to disappear. You just keep talking.
You do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill our mug, and then we'll top it with whip. And if you want to make this more of an adult version, you can add a little bit of spiced rum just for you, right? All right, and then we would put our whip on top of that there. However, we also have some local great wine from Liberty Vineyards. This is a local Chautauqua County wine. It is Diamond, mildly sweet. Goes great with those onions and the caramelization.
I tasted that. That's very smooth. I really like that.
Tasting it.
And that's a local wine.
This is
Chautauqua
a local
County?
wine, all Chautauqua County. Then we also have a recommendation of a Finnemat's. I think maybe Joe hit this one up because it seems to be missing some.
I think he's lying down right now.
Throw him under the bus because he's not here, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Finnemat's Southern Tier Brewing Company, another Chautauqua County great local beer. Nice caramel flavors. You get some hops, goes great with the burger, great with those caramelized onions, the sweet potato fries, and then we just have a nice light tossed salad on the side with our house-made balsamic vinaigrette.
I can taste the difference in this beef. It's you
Absolutely.
can taste it. It's more meaty.
Yes, you get the flavor of the actual meat. And what I was saying before, when Greg, the other owner, when he first had this, it's hard to recognize what the actual taste of the beef is, because people who only eat hormone-fed meat and these cows that are raised in these factory farms, basically, you don't actually taste the beef a lot of times.
Is it more expensive?
It can be. It depends on how you do it. At the restaurant, we buy it by the whole cow. You obviously get a better price for it.
Right.
You can do the same
Well,
thing.
I don't know if we
Anybody
could do
can.
that.
Or very often farmers, like I know for a fact that JJ and Quinn at Someday Maybe Farms, they're absolutely open to, like one time my father and I split
A cow?
split a cow. He took half, I took half. And then there were parts of his half that I wanted and parts of my half that he wanted, and we just kind of did what we needed to do.
You must have a big freezer.
I do, actually,
All right.
several.
Chef David, and you had a great first helping. We're going to do an even more marvelous second helping when we
Yes.
come back. So
Yes, we
stick
are.
around. I'm going to... Chef David, and have you guessed what the second helpings is going to be? If you guessed shepherd's pie, I'm not getting John here. I know. Is my mic? I'm on. I don't know why I'm not.
Do you want mine?
No. We're just having. It's just too much of that mulled cider. We are making shepherd's pie with the leftover ground beef.
Yep, we had leftover ground beef. I even actually took a burger and crumbled this up. Basically what I did is I made a basic mirepoix or sofrito. There's different words for it. Different variations, onions, celery, carrot, and mine. Basically, you can add almost anything you want. So if you have peas, you can do that. If you have leftovers, toss them in.
Okay.
So I kind of crumbled up some burger. Basically, what you do when you're making this is once you get to the point where your beef is pretty much almost cooked through, I create a hole, like a well in the center.
Yeah.
I deglaze the pan with a little bit of our Liberty Vineyard Diamond wine.
So you just pour it in?
Yep. And then you want to get all the good stuff off the bottom. They call it deglazing. So you want to get all that off the bottom, and then I added a little bit of extra beef stock.
Okay.
And that I made using a local beef bone. And
Makes
then
sense.
and then you can take a thickening agent. I use cornstarch. I take my cornstarch, I put it in a bowl, I ladle some of the hot liquid in, whisk it through, and then I pour it in. That'll thicken it up. I took some leftover sweet potatoes, including some of the leftover roasted sweet potatoes, and I chopped those up, get them, again, nice and uniform and square, about the same size, boiled them down, made a mash, added them to that there.
Do you put anything in it, like butter or milk or something?
Butter,
Okay, all
heavy
right.
cream,
Let's show
cream
folks. We got
cheese,
like
a
20
little-
seconds
All right.
left to show what
Here we
this
go.
shepherd's pie is looking like.
This is our shepherd's pie in the ends. Of course, I made it look kind of fancy on top.
Look
I
at
piped
that.
all that on.
And it should have like the
Some browning a little bit on the top. That's the sugars that are in the sweet potato. So
Coming
it'll make
through.
it look kind of pretty and nice. Yep.
How long would you say it takes to put this together?
It does not take long, and it's one of those things that honestly you can walk away and be doing other things, and who doesn't have other things to do? I have 2 small kids, so when I'm cooking, I'm usually doing something with them too.
How long do you leave it in the oven?
20 or 30 minutes. It's basically already cooked when it goes in there. You just want to heat it through, you want to brown the top a little bit, and then you're done.
At what temperature? 350?
350, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's going to be gone before it, in shorter time than it took for you
Yeah.
to make it. Chef David from the Buster Brown Bean Company in Fredonia, thank you so much for coming today. We loved everything you made. Look forward to
I'll see
having
you
come
next
back in.
Monday, actually.
See you next Monday. Joe, back to you.